Yeah, that's good. The next question is from a woman. She asks, am I wrong for telling my boyfriend I want to take the lead on raising our baby because I don't want her to grow with the same entitled attitude as his 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship? And then she describes the daughter wears only designer clothes, has never done a chore. She puts this squarely on the boyfriend's shoulders. So I'm not sure about the mom, if the mom's still in the picture. My boyfriend says I'm being unfair and is now upset with me, but I just want to raise our child with different values. Was I out of line for saying I want to take the lead in raising our child?
I don't know where to begin with how many things are wrong with this scenario, but let's give it a try. Number one, don't you be talking about children until you're married. I mean, it's good to have an idea that you're on the same page when it comes to raising kids. But don't talk about having a child with a guy you're not married to, because very soon you will be an unmarried single mother. If he is not, I mean, especially because he has done this before. There already is a scenario where either it didn't work out or he chose for it not to work out. Thankfully, it sounds like he still has a relationship with the child from his first or previous relationship. Wonderful. But that girl, that 14-year-old, I honestly will say, probably feels entitled, probably does have a lot of material goods thrown her way, probably doesn't do a lot of chores. And maybe that's because mom and dad feel guilty. And sometimes they try to buy her off instead of instructing her and encouraging her and exhorting her to step into the role of a responsible, mature adolescence. So I've seen this a lot in divorce situations where, especially the non custodial parent, kind of out of guilt and because they don't have a lot of time to spend, they'll just spend money on the kid instead. And then, yeah, the kid does start to feel kind of entitled to things when the reality is they're starving for connection. And so do not repeat the mistake of this first relationship, the first relationship that did not put them before us, that did not ensure that the child was known, loved, raised by their own married mother and father. And I'm not blaming the kid for this. I'm blaming the original mom and dad who did not work it out. And so they probably did try to make up for what the child was lacking by taking her to Disneyland or buying her designer shoes. And the truth is, I bet that just exacerbated the problem because she's starving for connection and all she's getting is materialism. What do you think, Jen?
It's a really great thing to think through all the questions you need to ask before you marry someone, before you have children with them. In this scenario, if you're pregnant already and now you're like, well, we have different values, so I want to take the lead. That's a problem. There were many steps before that you should have handled. I think there's a book called 100 questions you ask before you get married, or 1,000 questions you ask before you get married. Have you heard of it? Is it religious, Christian?
No, I don't know. The one that I'm thinking about is 35 questions to fall in love.
Oh,
I've got like the wrong question list going on in my head, I
yeah.
think.
There's resources. I
Mhm.
think the one that says 100 or 1,000 questions to ask tries to cover everything. Finances. How are we going to handle debt? How are we going to donate to charitable causes? How are we going to discipline? What's our boundaries with in-laws? Because there's a lot of people that, especially if we haven't seen good marriages, we don't know the way to go about it. But asking questions and getting counseling and premarital counseling and having a faith community and having healthy people in your life, vetting the person you're looking into and want to date are all so important before you get to this point, like you said. And they're playing at marriage without being married.
Mhm.
But you don't have the security. You're not on the same team. We don't have, here's the shared values that we have and how we've decided we're going to have our family operate. They're roommates with benefits and they probably Venmo each other for bills and then they decide who's going to parent which kids. It's just, that's not the way it's supposed to be. And of course, women don't feel safe in this scenario. Men don't feel safe in this scenario, so it's just not the way it's supposed to be. And don't, don't get into that situation because it's much more complex after the child is born.
Yeah, totally agree. And in terms of, can I take the lead? Can I do this? Honey, you do not understand how parenting works if that's the approach that you have got to be on the same page. It's not like you're going to be in charge. And no, that's not how it works. He's going to have different ideas about this, and those ideas are going to benefit the child. So you need to be aligned in terms of worldview, aligned in terms of values and principles. And then after that, you're going to go kind of day by day, year by year, season by season, and say, what about now? How about now? How do we do it now? But you cannot do that if you're not exactly on the same page.